When you hear the air horns, you know it's live and direct. Gray Rizzy hanging out with you on Shade 45. It's another Grind Setters, and I'm going to keep it in New York, and I want to be clear about something. I said this a little earlier, but for the millions of motherfuckers who are listening right now, New York is a big-ass state, all right? I know everybody wants to say New York City, which is cool. We got 8 million people in this little bit of town. It's a big state, though, and I want to tell you something. We got Niagara Falls up here right now. Mr. Dirty O is in the building, man. What's up, man?
Good, man.
Thank you for making the trip down.
Yeah, man, it's nothing, man. That grind is part of it.
So people understand how big our state is. Can you let them know how many hours the drive is from Niagara down to New York City?
6.5 for us.
So that would be damn near double the trip from New York City to the DMV.
Yeah.
Stop fucking around with us.
I could get to Ohio faster than here.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
You definitely could get to Canada and Toronto if they open up the damn border for you.
1/3 of that time. An hour and a half we over there.
But there's beautiful women up there. We going to talk about that later. Right. My statute of limitations ain't up just yet for that. But you're up here, man. You've been grinding independent.
Yeah.
We're here on Shade 45. I definitely want to learn more about you because we've been listening to the music.
Yeah.
Shout out to my partner, BDM Smith. We've been listening to the music really for about 2 weeks now.
Okay.
And how did you get started into all this, man?
Just had a passion for writing, man. Had a passion for music, so it was like, I played around with it for a while, where I was just trying to be the local celebrity, I guess, in my city. You know what I'm saying? But some tragic events, I lost some close people to me, man, and it was like that made me open my eyes. I'm like, what I'm gonna do, and the focus shifted straight to music. And since then, I've been grinding. So it's been since like 2011. I say I've been grinding seriously with the music.
And, there's more that I want to talk about because it's not just the music.
Right.
The Jay-Z says, I'm a businessman. You turned this into an entire business, and we're going to get into that in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Independently for about 8 years.
Yeah.
Is that about the time that you started going into the studio, taking it seriously as well?
I was always recording, but that's when I started saying, okay, I'm going to build projects instead of just little mixtapes over everybody else's beat. Focus on actually getting off the YouTube beats and owning my beats. And, so just taking it more serious and trying to create a sound. You get on everybody else's beat, you could easily sound like somebody else, or, they're going to think of that person first when that beat come on.
Right.
So, I started trying to just get myself, branding myself as a person.
It's funny, you're answering a question that I have for you later on. And that it's no problem with that because it's important to build your own sound.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you go just get lost in the source. And you know what happens with DJs? DJs will be like, I'm going to go to the part that I know.
Right.
And sometimes you get lost that way too.
Yeah.
But one thing that you didn't get lost on is because Niagara Falls is very close to a place called Buffalo.
Yes.
Buffalo has some hellified talent.
Right.
That's there. Shout out to my guys, Griselda.
Yeah. So
Conway the Machine.
Griselda, drum work, music, all of them.
All that. Everything that's going on up there. Yeah. Also, shout out to New Era. A lot of people don't know they caps. New Era is based up there.
Yeah.
But forget about all that. You have a song with Benny the Butcher.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Well, we just met Benny a long time ago. We know Benny from the grind before he got where he was going. You know what I'm saying? And his consistency was big because he was like mixtape heavy. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like the likes of like myself, Lather Gang. I got my boy Coach in the building with me. We just bumped into Benny and them a lot. So then he actually made a post about working with artists. Like right before we knew where Benny was about to go. So I hit him up, man, just because of the relationship and knowing each other, we worked something out sweet. He came to the studio, all in studio footage. We locked the song in. And then after that, we followed it up with the Plugs I Met tour with him too.
That's dope.
Yeah, so we went out there, opened up.
And that was, if I remember correctly, they put that on themselves.
Yeah,
when they was moving all over
exactly more
the
of an
country.
Independent tour, right?
Yeah.
But then the Griselda one followed, which was the bigger one.
Right.
Yeah, but Benny, I think out of the 10 dates, we ended up doing like 7 of them.
Nice.
Yep. Driving.
Independent. I was about to say it. Independent. You jumping in the car right after the show, going to the next spot.
Yeah. Just using the hotels for showering.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Just back on it from one city to the next city. But you learn though from that. And I think it was good. We even had artists come with us that wasn't performing, or I was sharing my time with some of the artists because it's just like soaking up that game and being a part of it is it adds to your artistry and your music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. But shout out to Benny, man. It was always love. And everybody on that camp. I got tracks with Rick High come in, some production from Rick High, some production from Young World. This is all BSF artists. So man, salute to that whole camp they got going.
City Boy, we go ahead and celebrate your birthday soon, man. Don't think I forgot about you.
Yeah, man.
Just make sure you have that section ready for everybody, man. Look, I want to get to this joint. We got Dirty on the building. This song is No Bank Account.
Yes.
There's a line in here where you said I had 100 racks before I even had a bank account.
Yeah.
I don't know what that feel like, but you go ahead with the fucking sound like. All right, it's Gray Rizzy. We out here, Shade 45. Another Grind Setters. Dirty, yo.
Let's go.
Niagara Falls, you recognize that fucking sound right there. That's Dirty O. He's up here worldwide, to be honest with you, because I don't know if you know this. You know, Shade 45 is damn near in every car because of SiriusXM. But
Right.
I was actually on vacation what was it, like 2 weeks ago, buddy? Last week? It was last week, right? I'm listening while I'm in Jamaica. So a lot of people don't know you can listen on the SiriusXM app. So I'm saying all that because somebody could be in Germany right now. They could be in Jamaica. They could be anywhere listening to Dirty O.
Right, tap in.
And understanding, at least being able to understand who you are, man. But it's not just the music. We talked about that a little bit earlier, man. You got the No Gimmicks podcast.
Yes.
So
Sponsored
you've
by
been
Hip Hop Weekly Radio, yeah.
Hip Hop Weekly Radio,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Like you've been on this side. You know what it's like to go ahead and control these conversations. What made you get into the podcast world?
I just ran around with my boy Mikey T, the movie star. I met Mikey T a long time ago out of Miami, and this was like his job. So he was like, yo, it's like a good opportunity for you to connect with these artists. Just stop through some of these interviews with me. But he was interviewing some of the top people from Ross to Scrappy to even the younger ones coming up. Mm-hmm. So I kind of was like soaking up all this free game without even knowing. And then like this COVID hit, I'm like, I gotta just utilize it as much as I can.
Find something, right?
Yeah, and I actually invested in the Hip Hop Weekly, so I'm a co-owner of Hip Hop Weekly, the platform.
Give him some applause for that, Drew, please.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Now everybody gonna be in your inbox, but yeah, give him some applause for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I figured like use that platform for for my voice, and yeah, it was dope. I had a lot of connections from the music, just grinding. So it's like, how can I utilize these same relationships? And it's just podcasts just made the most sense.
Copy, man. That's really, really dope. Now, talk to me about Fourth to North. It's an indie label that you have.
Yeah.
You probably seen the branding all over the place, man. I see my man Timmy got his joint. I knew exactly as soon as I saw it, I knew what it was.
Right.
But tell me about that. How is it being, I want to say the CEO, the label head?
Yeah.
What's that like for you?
Man, struggles. It's ups and downs. Fourth to North is like, okay, so 4th Street and North Avenue, these two streets that I grew up on in Niagara Falls. So these is like the two streets that kind of impacted a lot of my life, from the violence, the drugs, all of that. So it's like it was only right to like build around those two things, because them are the two places that made me who I am. Mm-hmm. But on the industry side, man, invest in yourself, man. If it's your brand, man, trust in it. Try to get it as many places as you can. And you got to take your wins and your losses the same. People think it's always going to be great, but it's lessons in all the losses too. You know what I'm saying? And the bruises and bumps on the way. So I say, if you're going to really like get a label, man, just try to get a solid camp around you, like-minded individuals, and that's really where you're going to prosper. And I know that from both sides, because I had a squad before that just, they was just local. They just wanted the little inner city love instead of like, let's get on this road. Let's go see what Miami like. Let's go see what Atlanta like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I was out there for about 5 years on my own, traveling and networking, before I found me a new crew that was like solid. Now we just got podcasts, music, albums, mixtapes, everything just dropping consistently, you know what I'm saying?
And focus. You know what it is? A lot of times people see the result. They don't see what it took to get to that result.
Right.
And it ain't always fucking parties and popping bottles and all that stuff,
It's
man.
not.
Let me ask you this question, because you're taller than the average rapper.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? How tall are you, bro?
6'3".
The reason I know somebody's like, why would he ask him that fucking question? Because average rapper height is what? What you think, Coach? Like about 5'8", 5'8", 5'9", if that. You feel what I'm saying? So there's no confusing you when you walk into a room.
Yo, that's crazy. My man used to say that. He's like, yo, you stand out. Even some photo ops, man. Like, there was a few short artists like, nah, I'm not taking a picture with him.
Yeah, you fucking right.
Yeah,
nah,
like,
give me some. Either he got to sit down or I'm standing on some shit. I'm not going to do this
not
right
here.
here.
Be towering over me. Like,
hell no, get out of here, man. But and it's funny because we're going to take some pictures. I'm probably going to be complaining to Bunny about the same exact shit in a few minutes. Before we get into this break, man, I want to know, inspiration-wise, who were some of the artists that you grew up listening to, inspired you?
Oh man, I'm gonna say some of the local people. I'm gonna give it to my son, New Money Hefe. Some of the artists that I'm around right now, like Coach, and they really helped my craft. You know what I'm saying, like who I am. But industry-wise, I'm a big Jay-Z fan. I love Jay, Nas. I'm probably, it's hard for me to play this new rap. I listen to it, so when I do go out, I know what I'm moving to. But for the most part, my playlist got some good classic 90s in there. A lot of hip hop, a lot of State Property, Rockefeller era, Dipset. Yeah, but Jay is like the top one that, on both sides, for the business and the artistry side of everything.
Is there a particular song?
For Jay?
Yeah.
I always say Feeling It. Off the first album, only because that's the one that made me like pick my pen up. That's the one that, I don't know, it resonated with me for some reason. Like I was like, that is fire. Like he not just just talk about bitches and shit. Like it was like some substance and some content to it.
Right.
And I like to bring myself out like that in music.
Well, shit, let's take it to Reasonable Doubt, man. I got Dirty O in the building. It's Gray Rizzy. We out here right now. Shade 45 is another ground setters. Don't go nowhere. Gray Rizzy, we out here right now. Shade 45. It's a grind setters. We up here in Niagara Falls. Not literally, but we got a representative with us. Dirty O is up here, man. I'm glad that before we went to the break, we were talking about just the music. And I've always been the type of person, I'll say, I'm not mad at the type of music that you're listening to, because with growth, there's always going to it's going to branch off different ways.
Right.
Shit, there's certain football plays that we don't like, but they came from a certain coaching tree, right?
Facts.
And if that makes sense to people who love sports, if it don't, well, fuck you. I don't got no time to explain it. He understood. That's all that matters right there. But the reason why I'm saying this is because you felt, and I read this about you, that you felt like now was the right time for the type of music that you're putting out.
Yes.
What do you think is the difference between when you first started to right now in 2021?
I would say reach is the biggest thing. When I first started, it was all about the real grind, the printing up CDs and getting out there doing a hand-to-hand, so now I think with all the streaming services and, platforms like these, where you could make your way here, and I think this is, it gives you more reach to the people, you know what I'm saying?
There's what I'll say on this side is that while the music moves faster, there's times where people buy into a Dirty O or, a coach. They buy into you because they're able to have this conversation and hear outside of the music.
Yeah.
With a lot of newer artists, what we always try to say to them, if they're willing to listen, be more personable.
Yeah.
Create the narrative. Let people know who you are outside of the music, because what happens is that this music might be streaming real heavy. We've been in situations where you go to the venue, you got 1 million streams, but you can't put 25 people in the venue.
Right.
What's going on? And that only builds when you hit the road and you're building with those people and you're shaking hands and kissing babies and all that stuff. But I digress. Dirty O does it. Some of you don't. You won't be around next year, so I ain't got to even worry about it, man.
Networking is big, man. Talking to people who, even if, they're going to become a fan or not. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and because I used to think like, I gotta wait. Like I was always on the creative side, and now I'm getting more like, nah, fuck that. Just let the vulnerableness open up. Let the people get the real you in your music, outside of your music, just 100%. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, look, before we get out of here, man, we have another song, and this one you switch it up a little bit, the different joint, man. Yeah. And I'm hearing this. This is like part of your signature sound that I'm hearing in the music. First, I'm hearing range. But there's a particular sound where it's like, all right, I could tell he went there with this one. What's the difference in your music that stands like? Well, I guess the better question would be, what is the bar that you set for yourself when you're creating the sound for your music? Because some people, and let me just say this real quick, some people will be all over the place. It's just like herding cats. I don't know what type of artist you are.
Right.
That's not with you. You're still within your what you want to be or what you want to be known as. But I noticed a change in this song from the last.
Yeah, I think it's just probably, I think the beat play a part in it too. You know what I'm saying? It's just going for more of that wider audience when you bring samples and, higher tempo beats to the stage. And it's just like, but yeah, to still stay with the same type of content is important for me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's exactly who I am. So, but yeah, the range is important, I think. I think it's good to switch it up. And everybody don't want to see the same you every time. Even though you could still do the same trick, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's just like let's try it over here, and see how the reaction is. And that's what this was. Young World, which is the BSF producer, that's who produced this one, and I think his ideals and his mind being involved helped it out too.
Copy.
Yep.
Were you in the studio at the same time?
Just when when he came through to play the beats with me, we just went over the beats. I actually had him on the episode of No Gimmicks, and then right after we went into a session, and it was like, let me know what he was thinking when he made the beat, and for me to kind of go that range with it.
I much prefer, even though I can't stay in the studio to save my life, because that shit, I'm not performing, I'm not recording, I'm not pressing buttons. That's just boring as hell for me. But I think it's important for the artist and the producer to be in the room at the same time. Granted, I mean, shit, there's stuff going on all over the country, so files are flying back and forth on email.
Emails is like the wave now, but like if you can actually get in there and get them conversations and get a feel for what the song is, and that's why I think the Benny song came out how it did, because it's just like we sat there for an hour before he even got in the booth, and then we sat there an hour after he was done, because it's just, kicking it, giving each other game, and just, getting a feel for what the track is supposed to be.
Right. What advice would you give to the young artists out there trying to make it?
Man, I would say stay true to yourself, man. Don't follow too many trends, man, unless that's what the time you really own. Invest in yourself, and if you don't got the means to invest, it's so many like things to look up DJs on Instagram, playlists. Like it's just ways that you can use your mouthpiece and just talk to people and still get places. So I would just say network, invest, and believe in your brand.
If I could add one thing, you're always going to be your best salesperson.
Exactly.
If people don't believe it from you, it's going to be hard for them to believe, period.
Right.
And most of all, what's the differential factor that you have? In this song right here, you got to be different. You got to stand out. You don't got no chance to be 6'3". If you already 5'8", the shit is over. All right, so you better make your music grow some way, somehow, man.
Facts.
Dirty, I appreciate you being out here with us, man.
Yeah.
Let them know how to go ahead and stay in touch with you, bro.
Yeah, yo, all social media at DirtyO42N. That's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Darrell, Westbrook, man. Just we all over the place, man. I keep content everywhere, all streaming sites, any podcast platforms. The podcast is out there. The new mixtape is out there. We got a new album on the way, a new No Gimmicks album on the way. So it's just like a lot of work, a lot of videos, and we just gonna stay in their face all year, man.
This guy is focused, man. Shit, I might need to go. I gotta hang out with him. Shit, I gotta step my game up. Look, if you missed any part of this interview, don't worry about it. We got you with the SiriusXM app. Just download the app to your iPhone or Android. Search Dirty O, Gray Rizzy, Shade 45. Listen to it on your time on demand. Don't forget to follow the channel too at Shade 45. And since you following everybody, follow your boy at Gray Rizzy, GrayRizzy. Best believe we out here. Whoa, let's go ahead and get to this song. It's different. Dirty O, Niagara Falls. What up?